Hey everyone, thanks for tuning along. My name's Tom Baruccio, realtor with Remax Above and Beyond. Today I'm here with a really special guest, Holly Gale of Hearth Patisserie. Hey Holly, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Really glad to have you on. Holly is a super talented pastry chef. Probably, if you haven't seen on our Facebook and our website, just unbelievable talent. She's like a pastry artist. So Holly, describe your business a little bit. Tell me about what you do and what you got going on.
All right. So I work under, so I'm a cottage-based kitchen, which means I work under the home. But I specialize in like boutique cakes, French pastries, but with more of an American twist on the flavor.
Cool. Nice. So what made you decide to open this business, or also another way, what made you decide to get into, being a pastry chef?
So, as far as, I guess actually both of those questions, I kind of feel like it was fate. As far as getting involved in being a pastry chef, so I've always been very artistic. Just as a kid, I love art. So I went to college in Chicago for photography, and then I minored in graphic design. But the last, I would say, year of my education, I was doing a lot of things with food photography. And then I just kept gravitating closer and closer to the kitchen. And then when I graduated, I was like, oh, I'll just take a little side job as a baker. And then I just loved it. It was basically, I could do art and I could do food and make it together, which was absolutely fantastic. So as far as me becoming a pastry chef, I also felt the need to get a little bit more education in food science. I love to learn, and I think education is essential, and you need to have good mentors in your life. I think it's healthy. So I went to the French Pastry School and got an amazing education and worked with some fantastic chefs straight from France, and they were great. So I don't know, I feel like it always brings me joy. I am always thinking about food or making food, or I'm taking a walk and I'm like, that's beautiful. I can make that into a cake. That's amazing over there. I want to make a cake like that. So I think it's who I am. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. That kind of reminds me, before we were talking, I mentioned about your flowers behind you. It's just inspiration. I could see it all over your house there. So.
Right. Springy and Eastery, and I'm trying to work on doing some stuff for Easter. So it just, yeah. I love working with natural elements and very like whimsical looking things.
Very cool. So you maybe kind of touched on this, but how did you get started in doing what you're doing?
So yeah, I went to school again, and then I worked in a Michelin star restaurant, and I worked as an executive pastry sous over 3 different restaurants, and that was great. I learned a lot. I worked a lot, and then I worked at a 2 Michelin star restaurant after that, and it was amazing. But I wasn't really working for myself, and I did get to absorb a lot of information from some fantastic chefs, but I didn't really get to express myself. And I felt like in Chicago, I really wanted to show everyone what I could do. And I had so many fantastic ideas, and I wanted to take that and bring it to Cleveland. My mother is an amazing baker as well. And so we always would have cookies everywhere and cake. And I mean, even when I go home, there's just the whole table is filled with baked goods. So it just brought me joy, and I really like the food science behind it. I also love art, so I can do both, and that's basically it was fate.
Nice. That's really cool that you just you had a couple kind of passions and you found something that combined them into one. That's really awesome and inspiring, because I think so many people, especially young people, or really all age people, everyone's trying to figure out what to do, what they like, and trying to combine combine it. And there's so much out there, and like you're a testament to that you can take all your passions and combine them and find something you want and you're good at. And it shows with you. The work you're doing and the cakes you're making and the pastries you're making are just awesome. So let me switch gears a little bit and kind of ask this question about, kind of the customer experience, and what do you think customers really appreciate the most about your business and what you're doing?
I think that everything that I do, I try and typically get to know the person and make something that's special for them. It's like, I like a certain thing, but what do you want? What would be your perfect cake, or what would be your perfect pastry? And so I make everything, I think, truly unique. I try and make maybe similar style, but I try and make everything special, because I feel so much gratitude towards being able to come in, especially during a pandemic, and try and open up a place. People are so supportive, and I want to reciprocate that and just also be a good small business owner and get to know the people and give them, bring them joy too.
Yeah, nice. So we talked a little bit before. You kind of mentioned you went to school in Chicago. I know you've lived a couple other places. There's a whole world out there. So what made you choose Bay Village?
Bay Village and just Cleveland in general. I realized that like Cleveland loves Cleveland and Bay loves Bay. Anytime I talk to anyone on the phone and I'm like, oh, I'm based in Bay Village. Everyone's like, I love Bay. Oh, Bay's so nice. And my husband is from here and grew up here and went to school here. And it's just a place that people are really a good community. You feel safe, and it's just a very warming environment. And Bay has been more than welcoming, and I'm just it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great town. Obviously, I live here myself, and we kind of talked before this about the support in the community, and I've seen it over and over again with these interviews and spotlights that it just seems like everyone in Bay wants to see other people in Bay succeed. Yeah. And that's awesome. And they can come to people like you, and they can get amazing cakes, and they can, support your dream. And so it's just a cool place. And I personally really appreciate that mindset I think that this community has.
Yeah. And, I guess another thing too is when I was kind of coming up with my business plan and business concept and just doing research around this area, I was like, there's nothing like my style out there. I will say I'm a unique person, so maybe that's it too. But I was trying, because you don't want to butt heads with anyone, and I was looking at there and I was like, I think I really have something to offer for people. I really honestly believe that I can bring a new product into this kind of area. So that's exciting too, that hopefully I can introduce a different aspect of cake design and patisserie style desserts, and see if people like them.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit again and kind of ask you something. What's something that people maybe don't know about you personally?
I actually don't love sweets, like really sweet things. To me, it's just sugar I see as a tool. So anytime I make a dessert or a pastry, I always am like, how can I take less, pull sugar out of it? I think that to make things more flavorful, you need to have the actual ingredients come through and not the sugar. So I like to challenge myself with everything to make something flavor forward versus sugar forward. Because when I eat something, I don't want it to only taste like sugar. I want it to taste like blackberries, or I want it to taste like lime, or I want it to taste like roses and not sugar. So yeah. I seriously love that concept. And I didn't, just for everyone, we didn't talk about this before. This is the first I heard that. So, and I love that, because so many things now, it's just, they add so much sugar just to make it taste good, but there's no flavor. It's just sugar. So to take, it doesn't make it taste good. And that's the thing, is people don't realize that. I think that if your teeth hurt after you eat something, that's not done right, Right.
And
but whenever I tell people oh, I don't like sweet things. They're like you're a pastry chef. Like, why? What do you mean you don't like sweet things? So I'm like, dessert also doesn't necessarily have to be sweet, you know? Like, it can be really clean and refreshing and have no sugar in it and still be considered a dessert. So.
Yeah. So you're focusing on flavors, and that's something that's probably, like someone like yourself, a lot more schooling and just practice. And so what else is anything else going on that you'd like the people to know about?
So as I said, I'm a cottage based kitchen, so I bake on my home. But pre-pandemic, my plan was to find a spot, a location. So hopefully next year, I'm looking at trying to find maybe a studio or something and ready to expand, because my kitchen is to the max and I'm ready to get bigger and grow as a business. So that's, knock on wood, that'll happen next year. So yeah.
Nice. Well, we'll be eagerly awaiting the Hearth brick and mortar store.
Yeah. If anyone has any ideas, let me know, and that would be great too.
There you go. Cool. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about the name. How'd you come up with it? Your branding, kind of the story behind that.
So my grandfather was a brick mason, and my father is a carpenter. So Hearth is a brick-based oven. Hearth also can mean like the center of the home. It's like a meeting place for family. Like it was just something that word just felt very warming, and it stuck with me. As far as patisserie, I don't see a lot of patisseries around here, and I really wanted to emphasize my French training, because I think that I learned so much, and I don't see a lot of that around here. So I was like, I want to bring French pastries into Bay and into Cleveland. So that's how Hearth Patisserie was formed.
Awesome. That's a cool story. I love it when a business, the kind of the brand incorporates the mindset of, the person. And that's really cool. That's that. Thanks everyone for following along. My name again is Tom Virtue. I'm a realtor, your local neighborhood realtor here in Bay Village with Remax Above and Beyond.
And I'm Holly Gale, and I am the owner and chef of Hearth Patisserie. And thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon.
Bye.